Hello and welcome to this week's Rocksmith developer stream. I'm your host and community developer for Rocksmith, Doug Lilly. If you're joining us for the first time, every week we play through the songs we've just released this week, and we talk about them, and we have fun, and we have prizes. Some new updates with our usual prizes, which we'll get to later. But we are going to give away a couple of packs from Ernie Ball and some songs throughout the stream. Stay tuned for those. If you have any questions for us as we go on through the stream, make sure you ask in chat. UB Jurassic, that is Brian Turner. He is the Rocksmith Community Manager over in North Carolina. We are here in San Francisco, where it's especially nice these past couple of days. I like it. I appreciate it. Anyway, right now we're going to take a look at this week's song pack. That was the 2000s Mix Pack 6. 6 packs now for 2000s. Take a look at that, and we'll come back and we'll play some of those, and we'll see you very soon. And welcome back. I remain Doug Lilly, your host for today, and welcome once more to this week's Rocksmith developer stream. We are going to start today off with a little Coldplay. Anthony Martinez, how are you doing? Are you on camera now? No, you're not. Anthony Martinez, Senior Note Tracker. How are you doing?
How's it going? I'm doing well.
Do you party hard?
Sometimes.
But not today.
No.
Okay.
No.
Just wanted.
Yeah.
I was curious. That was the chat asked.
Because today he's going to have a shiver.
Yeah.
He's
shivering.
I should have brought my jacket.
It did get chillier. Yeah. Amy Batista, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome back. Production coordinator here.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing?
Doing good. A little tired.
Do you part? Is that because?
I partied too hard last night.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. So we're looking at Coldplay Shiver. What do we know about this?
Yeah. Well, this is actually a song that Shane Gann worked on before he left to tour and make music with Hail the Sun full time, which is amazing. What were you gonna say?
Hail the Sun, and is he touring exclusively with Hail the Sun right now?
I know he
did
has another
tour.
project with Sufferer
Yeah.
as well. But yeah, I'm not sure what his schedule is
He's
right
just
now.
out there living the life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just making music. Yeah,
Making music. Come on.
I say we make the rest of the stream about Shane Gann.
I'm okay with.
It's
I've
just
never
okay
actually
with
met
it.
Shane Gann.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I feel like I
Shoot.
know him.
Well, Shane, this is Doug. Doug, Shane,
Hi, Shane.
because I'm sure he's watching.
Yeah, we might be Facebook friends. I don't know if that counts.
But this was actually a song that he had note tracked a while ago. And so it was just sort of waiting in the queue for us to release and a nice pack like this one. So I went in and play tested it and familiarized myself with the different arrangements and found that there are a lot of cool parts in this song, man. This is one that I had always enjoyed listening to, but never really learned how to play until I dug into the note tracks. And the tuning that's used for the rhythm guitar is
not what we're playing.
No,
today.
I'm actually playing the lead while Emmy's playing the bass, but the tuning used in the rhythm guitar arrangement is interesting in that the D string is tuned down by a minor third, so D becomes B, and then the high E string is tuned down a half step to D sharp. And I think it makes it so that you can play voicings with open strings, and I had never really used that tuning before.
Right.
So it's playing this song.
So it's not for like a kind of single finger bar.
No,
but to just leave that drone, leave that hum.
Yeah, it
open.
accommodates different fingerings and different voicings for chords, and it's actually the same tuning that's used in the rhythm guitar arrangement for Yellow, which David and Doug discovered earlier today is on the same album.
Yeah, and I think Shane also note track Coma White, Marilyn Manson, because that had an interesting tuning where like there was one string
I don't remember
that was like a half step or a whole step off, and it was basically just to make this one kind of riff play and ring out. So it was a similar idea.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's take a look at Shiver, and then we'll talk some more about what's going on behind the scenes. And again, if you have any questions, make sure you ask UB Jurassic in the chat.
say. Don't you share? Don't you share? I'll always be waiting for you. Yeah, I'll always be waiting for you. Yeah, I'll always be waiting for you. Yeah, I'll always be waiting for you. For you, I will always be waiting. And it's you I'll say, but you don't say me. And it's you I'll hear, so loud and so clear. I'll sing it loud and clear. I'll always be waiting for you. So I look in your direction, but you pay me no attention. And you know how much I need you, but you never even see me.
You know, I like a dirty tone. And that last little solo section where it just
I love
eases.
that.
Oh, it's so nice.
Yeah,
So nice.
I love that tone.
Great job, both of you.
Thanks. This is a tricky one.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot
on lead
lot
for
going
sure.
on in that lead path, and the bass is like it's just jumping around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does the weirdest slides on the last section where it goes from a 7 all the way down to 11, back up to a 5, and I was like, oh hey.
And I'm not sure if it was on the lead path. I wasn't looking at the time, but I know there were some questions about the T notation.
Oh,
So that might be a rhythm thing. I'm not. Totally
it
sure.
is, yeah, and that's a thumb indicator. So if you see that that letter T on one of the notes within a chord pane, it means that you are to use your thumb to fret that note.
So can you show us what that might?
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to remember what some of the voicings might look like, but for
It's in a different
something,
tuning, so it might.
yeah, for something like this, I think this might be one of the voicings in that arrangement, or something like a shape similar to a voicing that'll show up in that arrangement. But yeah, this is what it would look like. So if you are to fret a red 5 with your thumb, you would simply bring your hand and wrist up over the neck so that you can accommodate such a grip. And I believe that you would want to mute the A string anyway. If I recall correctly,
for
a lot of the chords in the rhythm arrangement, you want to mute it. So it's okay if your thumb comes over to the point where it's actually touching that A string, because it won't matter.
No, I think a lot of players who they see thumb notation and they think it's sort of like lazy or sloppy playing, but it allows for voicings that aren't necessarily feasible if you're just like barring.
Yeah, like
Or at least not as
potentially, yeah. It
So
just
like if you
depends on the
did,
style.
Like
of
if you wanted the yellow and the blue string, or the A and the D string to ring out while you're playing a chord further up the neck, you might not be able to do that as easily, depending on.
Yeah,
the shape.
depending on the shape you're playing. I mean, I could still probably achieve that. It just depends on player's preference, really, and context is also important. Like, what else is happening? What's happening before and after that shape? Is it easier to transition between shapes by using your thumb, or would a different fingering make more sense? It just totally depends. But yeah, I actually I don't typically play with my thumb. I don't finger chords with my thumb at all, because it's difficult. I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
I used to when I tried playing in like Jimi Hendrix's style, but that's
And I
really
think
tough
the
to
Who
replicate.
did some of that.
What's that?
I know the Pinball Wizard has a lot of thumb use.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So yeah, Pete Townsend. I'm trying to think of other players who use there. Anyway, that's the story behind the letter T indicator on the note track.
Okay. thank you both very much for joining
course,
us.
thank you.
Right now, we're going to give away one of two Ernie Ball prize packs. Now, I mentioned last week. Last week was the last giveaway that included the pink Skullboy pick. So we have put that pick to rest, or in the vault, however you want to look at it. I mean, they still exist. We're holding on to them.
They're rare.
They're very rare. There are very few left, and they're mine now.
I knew it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're my cabinet. You can
Would
have
you
one
rate 'em?
if you want. But we are introducing the new Rocksmith pick that we'll be giving away along with the Ernie Ball prize pack. See, we change things. Sometimes they change things, but they've been consistently rad in delivering these packs for us to deliver to you. But today, here is the new Rocksmith pick design. And if you win one of the Ernie Ball prize packs, you will get 3 of these picks. These were designed by Nolan, who you may recognize from the stream. He's not on very often, but I feel like he always makes an impression when he is. So yeah, if you want a chance to win 3 of those picks along with everything in the Ernie Ball prize pack, please listen to what UB Jurassic is saying in the chat right now. He will give you instructions on how you can win one of these 2 Ernie Ball prize packs. With that pack, along with those 3 picks, will be 12 picks from Ernie Ball. They are currently medium gauge, but we have the next round of picks on the way this week. They will be medium gauge. You'll get 2 packs of strings, one 6-string set, one 4-string set. You will get an Ernie Ball guitar strap in black. You will get a package of Ernie Ball Wonder Wipes, and you will get an Ernie Ball peg winder. So please make sure you listen to what Brian Turner, the Rocksmith community manager, is telling you in the chat. And one lucky winner will receive a whisper from Brian to get several pieces of information. We need 3 pieces of information. We need your full name, we need your shipping address, and we need your telephone number. We do need all of that information in order to deliver that prize pack on to you. If you are outside of the U.S., please make sure that you let us know how your address is sort of split up line by line, because formatting is different, and it can make things difficult to get prizes to you if we don't know how to format it. That's all there is to that, really. But yeah, please, good luck on winning one of these prize packs with the first of the new batch of Rocksmith picks. And if you're listening to this 2000s mix Song Pack 6, and there's some other stuff from that era or from other eras that you want, make sure you hit up our request page. You can probably see that link there in the chat, or you can just go to rocksmith.com, and at the top of that page will be a link to the song request page. You can fill that out and let us know what you want to hear, and we'll do our best to get it into the game. Sometimes there can be licensing issues that prevent that, but as much as possible, we try to get as much music out to you as we can. Coming up right now, I think we've got a little bit of some, I'll say technical. Yeah, we'll go with technical issues. Hey, David, let's look at those picks one more time. Actually, so as you can see, the idea, and we'll just talk about picks for a while. We wanted to make sure we had the representation of the string UI on those picks, so you have the full 6-string set. If you're a bassist, please don't be offended. Don't think that we're neglecting you. Your 4 strings are also on that pick. There's just a couple of extras. So it's nothing against bassists. We wanted to have all 6 colors on the picks, and I like that the black sort of negative space, our logo. That filled some time, I think. So right now, we're gonna play a song. As soon as we come back, I think we've got a little bit of tuning left to do. But yeah, let's see if we have any questions from the chat right now. Well, are there any new picks in the lobby? Asks Tankbait1. Yes, the new picks have actually they've actually been in the lobby for about a week and a half. I just didn't advertise it because I didn't want to spoil it. Last week on the stream, a couple of players, I neglected to tell people that I wasn't showing the picks yet, so a couple of people brought the picks up and almost revealed the surprise. But yeah, those are in the lobby. So if you happen to be in San Francisco and stop by the Ubisoft office here, stop in the lobby, say hi to Coco, and ask, please, Coco, do you have any picks? And she might let you know where they are. They're on the desk, but they offer you a pick, maybe two, depending on how polite you are in the lobby. There's also some stickers down there from Rocksmith. I think I might have some of those. I had some of those behind me. Yeah, there they are. So you can get pick and stickers. I gave her stickers a while back because we were running so low on the pink picks. I couldn't give her any more for the lobby, so I gave her some stickers. And I think at least one person stopped by for picks and got stickers, and they were sad that they didn't get a pick. But everything's fine now. I think they ended up getting what they needed, and now I believe we can. Well, let's go ahead and say hi to our guests while we finish the tuning situation. Hello, Rye.
Hi there.
How you doing?
Great.
And Sarah,
Hey.
hello. This is your second or third time on the stream?
Second.
Second time. So you first appeared on the at the end of March for the March Encore stream, celebrating women in rock, and apparently you liked it enough, or that you thought you'd come back because you wanted to play Angels and Airwaves, the adventure, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Rye, you did not note track this song.
No, I didn't.
I think you learned it today. Was
I
that?
haven't actually
You
practiced.
haven't. You haven't so is this
Could
a
I
sight read?
request a lower level?
Sure. Where do
I
you want
can
to
do
go?
the full level. I'll look like an idiot though.
I mean, is that something that bothers you?
Well, I'll have a higher success rate at a lower level.
Okay. Do we want to do it at, what do you want to say, 80, 90?
I was gonna say 50, but yeah,
50?
no, let's do 80.
Let's do 80. We'll try, so we're going to run the lead path at 80% bass at max, 100%. And so this is a sight read for you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I don't think we've had one of those in a while. This is exciting for me. I think this might be my first.
This is exciting
Live
for
sight
me
read.
too. I don't know if exciting is the word.
So yeah, this is
Embarrassing.
this is Angels and Airwaves, which has a connection. Tom DeLonge, also part of Blink 182. Well, this is Tom's current band. And that's the information I have. Do you know anything more about this?
No.
Ben? Okay. All right. Well, I feel like we're all sort of on the edge of our seats. What's that?
It's just a
he uses a
capo.
capo, which I don't. Did you know that you were going to need one of these? When you get
Sadly, no.
Okay. So yeah, what does a capo do, right?
A capo basically just clamps on the string, so it allows you to play in different keys without changing your hand positions. You can use the same open chords, and it's cool for some alternate tuning stuff. So it basically just moves like your 0 fret to whatever the capo's on.
Okay. Cool. Well, let's take a look at the adventure. How appropriate.
You're good.
An adventure.
So far, so good.
You're nailing it.
Oh.
we go, life's waiting to begin tonight. Hey, here I am, and here we go, life's waiting to begin tonight. Hey, here I am, and here we go, life's waiting to begin. I cannot live, I can't breathe unless you do this with me. I cannot live, I can't breathe unless you do this with me. I cannot live, I can't breathe unless you do this with me. I cannot live, I can't breathe unless you do this with me. I cannot live, I can't breathe unless you do this with me. I cannot live, I can't breathe unless you do this with me. Here and here we go, life's waiting to
All right. Initial post-site reading thoughts. Go.
I seem to latch onto the parts after like one time, except that last part. That's actually a cool song.
And
though.
there were some pretty intense stretches.
Luckily, it wasn't
I
that
saw
crazy. As far it was kind of like a slower tempo, so it was easier to read.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was interesting. I've never really actually sight read something in such a high pressure situation.
Yeah, like, and you just got here. Like, you went from tuning to playing.
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
instant.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's cool. I use my ears too. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I use my ears with the visualization of it. Yeah, that muted part was messing me up. I'm not gonna say it was pretty bad all the way around, but it wasn't as crash and burn as I thought it would be. The audience might disagree.
Oh, the audience, nicely done, says the audience. I don't know.
Oh,
They didn't
great.
name anyone. But they said nicely done.
That was a good song.
Yeah. Sarah, you have a history with this song?
Yeah, the reason I came on the stream again was because I saw this song in the
Because
list.
you had
and-
such a great time.
yeah.
But in addition to that,
in addition to that, I had completely forgotten about this song actually, and then I saw it on the list and I heard it and I was like, that sounds really familiar. Oh right, this is a song that I choreographed a dance to in high school for like a final exam.
okay.
And I had completely forgotten about it until I heard it, and then it all just kind of came rushing back.
So was this, I assume, some like a dance class in high
Mhm.
school? And did you pick the song?
yeah, with two of my friends.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I had never heard it before, but one of them introduced it to me, and
Okay. And you're like, this, I
was
can,
very familiar with it.
I can envision. Now, and this is something with as far as choreography, I understand nothing. I don't know where my body is in relation to itself. So dance is
That makes two
a
of us.
concept that is not in my wheelhouse. So when you're choreographing something, what elements are you looking for? Is it where between like technical and emotion do things lie?
Oh gosh, was not prepared
Yeah,
for
yeah,
these
yeah.
questions.
we can come back to this later if you want. I didn't give you a
No,
chance to.
it's okay. I mean, I actually feel like choreographing a dance is incredibly similar to writing a song, in that we are analyzing, like, you know, patterns of the song, and then taking, you know, movements that we are familiar with, like chords, or and building them together to match what feels right, and taking things like, all right, well, we are going to repeat this part because it repeats in the song, and that feels right in that moment. And it's something I wasn't prepared to answer,
Sure,
and I
sure.
hope I did it.
No,
okay
this is this is great. And typically, when you would choreograph something, are you building just from one moment to the next, or do you have specific beats that you're transitioning between and building kind of between major beats? If that question makes sense. Since I don't know anything about dance, it's difficult to ask questions.
I feel like it's a bit of both. I mean, sometimes you're like, this, I know that I want to do this here.
Yeah.
This seems like a good spot to do this thing. How do I get to this?
Okay,
So
yeah.
sometimes it is transitioning and figuring out how to transition into that, and other times it's just like, what comes next?
My first game at Ubisoft was Just Dance.
Oh, really?
When I was a community representative, Just Dance was my first game. So
Did you play it at all?
I
you
did.
dance?
I did
Good.
in the privacy of my home. All right. Thank you both very, very much for coming on and sight reading and relaying that story with us. Right now, we are going to have a video break. We're going to take a look at the third in a series of the behind-the-scenes looks at Rocksmith. While that video is happening, we are going to give away 5 copies of this week's DLC. That is the not variety 2000s mix song pack 6. We're going to give away 5 copies of that on Steam. So once more, listen to what UB Jurassic is telling you in chat while you enjoy this video, and we will be right back with more music from the 2000s.
Moonlight Sonata is deceptively simple because you listen to it and you hear all this space.
That was right? He's not even listening. Yeah. And then say I'm just the very last chord. Really like slow down the strum. Don't hit it all at once. Okay, so you want nice flammy.
There's a lot of chord shapes and a lot of slowly shifting harmonies. It'll keep you on your toes.
Hawaiian. You guys want to take a swing at it? Here we go.
This whole project is a little off the beaten path, both for us and for the end user. The material should be really familiar, but you've never heard it in this context before, so we're hoping the community finds it to be a fun challenge. I knew we wanted a lot of space with Moonlight Sonata to maintain the original, but we wanted it to go somewhere.
There we go.
I'm hoping that it turns out as fun as it was at rehearsal. Moonlight Sonata, which sounds simple, is actually quite challenging, and I think it'll help a lot of people work on arpeggios.
Are you guys cool with that?
Yes.
Matt Montgomery did a fantastic job with Rondo alla Turca, turning it into this gypsy jazz version. The gypsy jazz Mozart. That's going to be a lot of fun.
It's a weird little syncopated graininess that I'm hearing. I think it's just a big, kind of weird pick noise.
Yeah. He just very loose strumming that he doesn't do any other time.
We were going for kind of a Django Reinhardt type gypsy jazz thing. We haven't delved into that in Rocksmith, and also that'll be a really unique offering for our players.
You can just run there and play it too.
Yeah. Actually, that kind of feels a little jerky at the beginning of that thing anyway.
Let's punch.
Here we go. Oh, I see. I see. You choke the brushes so it'll chop good, right? Yeah. Okay, let me see if that'll work. Just stand by. That should work fine. Sweet. Thank you. No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome. I contributed a lot this time.
The lead line has a lot of twists and turns. There's an amazing virtuosic solo in it. And the rhythm chart is going to have lots of fun, like minor 7s and 9s and things for people who want more advanced jazz chords in the game.
So you memorized the whole thing. That's what's up.
Little Fugue is going to be a lot of fun. It wouldn't be Rocksmith without Bach.
Honestly, Bach is kind of shreddy.
It's quite manageable. It's all single note lines. There's actually 2 guitar parts and 2 bass parts.
Throw it on top of your high gain.
I gotta go DI.
Take your high gain channel and throw it through
The
high gain channel.
We went kind of a little bit shreddy or a little bit harsh with the distortion on it.
The fugue, I think, is the one that's been given to us as you guys can kind of run with this a little bit more.
Okay, here we go.
Little Fugue in G minor is going to have a lot of chasing the dragon type things where you're playing a single note line where it's like, oh, how am I going to keep up? But thankfully there's enough space and rests and different entrances where you will be able to take a moment to be like, okay, and here we go again with the 16 note run. It's going to be great.
Let's do it without the click, but with the intent of putting the tempos on the slower side rather than rushing everything.
Okay.
We're gonna start at E.
Is that the first spot?
Ah, I made it to E, alright.
Well, we're gonna go back and get some earlier too. Sam, I just want us to try to grab the 3 measures before C.
I proposed the project at the beginning of February, got working on the arrangements in March, made the parts and the scores in April. We're about to have the rehearsal in May. We're recording in June. We're note tracking at the end of June, early July, and then it'll go live at the end of August is the current plan. So start to finish, just over 6 months of work.
That's a nice that phrase. Keep it.
That trill of mine is.
I like it.
Yep,
Yeah.
me too. Okay, you can call him in.
You may come in.
It is a little bit scary to have put so much time and effort into one DLC offering. The 60s is, I think, the earliest we've gone so far. Now we're going to jump way, way back and hit some old top 40.
And welcome back to this week's Rocksmith developer stream. I remain and shall always be Doug Lilly, your host and community developer. I can't say that I'll always be the host. You gotta. Somebody off camera has got some words. Let's put them on camera. Andrew
Alright.
Levin,
Alright.
how's it going? You
Good.
said, what did you just say? What did you say to me?
Lug
What'd you say?
Lug Dilly.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Oh, he said, "Oh,
do
I
like
got
that.
a name for you."
That's
It
what he
sounded
said.
really
I said,
threatening.
I got a name for you. Lug dilly.
Landrew Evan.
It doesn't work, man.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's the vowels.
And
No,
Vowels.
but Evan Landrew sounds plausible.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Evan is a normal first name.
I like Am Danerick.
I've been called so much worse than that.
And Dan Emmerich.
Hi.
Welcome both.
I just dropped my
Uh-oh.
pick.
Would you need another one? Do you want
Well,
one of
no, I
these?
need that one because
Which-
it's one of my big old triangle picks.
Oh,
Here's
yeah.
the spare. Somebody in the chat has joined us for the first time in about 6 months.
Oh.
And so it's been about.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much, Andrew. It's been about 6 months. He said, "Oh, what happened to Dan?" And I'm like, "I'm right here. Doug's the new guy."
Yeah, I'm not Dan Emmerich.
Yeah.
By the way.
And I think you are grateful for that every day.
I do say some words. I don't. This is the bonus track. So it is not part of the 2000s Mix 6 song pack, but it is from the 2000s.
It is.
This was a Dan Emmerich request.
This was a request by me just because I said, "Oh, you know what I'm into lately and I'm listening to again is this band. Could we do one of those?" And you're like, "Yeah, I don't have anything else."
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
great.
Yeah, it worked out. Made my job that much easier.
One of the finest compliments a friend ever gave me was to call me effervescently morbid. I actually have a really, really dark sense of humor, and I find death kind of hilarious and fascinating. I don't normally project that as part of my daily thing, but my close friends know that I'm very, very dark.
I've heard some things.
Yes. So
From-
something
from
like
you, not about
like
you.
a full concept album by a pop punk / emo band about death.
Yeah.
Does fit into my wheelhouse pretty closely.
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So they will be performing "Dead"
Dead! Exclamation point.
by My Chemical Romance.
Yes.
Who I think we might be in the same boat. This wasn't a band that I was listening to during the 2000s.
Me neither.
But
I found out about this band through this song. I built a puzzle for the forums around
okay.
this song. Had nothing to do with death, which was funny. It was all about the periodic table.
I started following them when I played Teenagers, which is another one of their songs in Rocksmith. I started playing it in the game, and I really liked it.
Yeah, I just came around late,
Yeah.
and so since then I've been like, I've picked up the album. Recently, I finally just caved, and I was like, I'm going to stop listening to this on Spotify. I'm going to buy the album. And so I did.
And
that's why I was like, could we play Dead? Just because I think it's in the 2000s.
And I think we both appreciate some theatricality.
A little bit, yes. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't listen to Ghost nearly as much as you do.
Right.
But when you're up there for theatricality, you've got sort of like Queen and Ghost and then Kiss,
Right.
way up there.
Right.
And then, down here you've got like Jeff Buckley, I guess. I don't know.
Hey.
Well, no. For theatricality, he came up. He's like, "Hi, I'm an honest singer-songwriter. Here's my material, and here's my thoughts
Yeah, I
and
know,
hopes
yeah.
and dreams and emotions."
I hope you
but
like it.
no kabuki makeup, no
No.
fire,
Yeah.
no spitting blood.
Wow.
But
Wouldn't
can you
that-
imagine
wouldn't that
Jeff
be-
Buckley with
Oh,
all
man.
of those?
That show, like if he just does it for like one show he comes out.
he's
like
not Jeff Buckley. He's
full-
Jeff Buckley. Something like that.
Man, now I'm really regretful that never happened.
I know, man.
That's
Apparently
your
it was-
true act.
Yeah,
There you
right,
go, man. It's
right.
waiting.
I
Play
thought we were
Slims.
seeing a Jeff Buckley tribute. Why is he in like, corpse paint?
Yeah.
Like, oh.
The second coming of Jeff
So
Buckley.
we're gonna play "Dead"
Yeah.
by My Chemical Romance.
Great
uh,
segue from Jeff
yeah,
Buckley to Dead.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
actually,
think
if it wasn't for Jeff Buckley, I think a lot of bands in the 2000s wouldn't have come out,
Yeah?
including My Chemical Romance. I mean, his vocal style was so influential,
It was a good try.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah.
really good try.
You made us seem a little bit less rough around the edges.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And why? So you picked the song, and just
I just
because
li-
it's been,
I just
been
like
in your
it.
mind and it fits the.
I think when you think of My Chemical Romance,
Yeah.
this is like the third song that you think about. You think about Welcome to the Black Parade, or you
Mm-hmm.
think about Teenagers, because I think they got more exposure. This is the one this is my kind of fun song that just like drives and chugs all the way through.
Yeah.
And again, for such a morbid thing, I smile through the whole
Right.
thing. I just love it.
Right. Well, they're having
this
fun
is my
with it.
kind of energy.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like, what's that comic book artist who did Squee and Johnny the Homicidal
That
Maniac?
was Yona Vasquez.
Yona Vasquez. It's kind
Yeah.
of a similar kind of
Very
sense of
good.
humor.
Wow. Nice
Yeah.
pull.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's all in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh well, let's take a look at that, and we'll talk about it some more probably after this.
we go. Of course, the strap came off right when that solo started.
I was going to try to help.
Thank you. Thank you, Doug.
I'm a hero. It's so fun.
It really
yeah.
is.
Great
I
tune.
mean, I'm sitting here,
Yeah.
doing this the whole time.
Yeah. I think in the 2000s I was too angry to be that happy about
Oh.
anything.
Well, I don't know if you're supposed to be.
I mean, but
you
it's
know.
such. I mean, it's for disregarding the lyrical content.
Yeah.
Like it's a happy.
Oh yeah,
bouncy
yeah.
song.
Kinda.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I also like it when songs play against type. If you do a very a depressing song with an upbeat major key, or vice versa, you do a super happy song with a really sad minor key. You know, I really like that. I like throwing people a curve.
I think that it actually can sometimes make it more powerful.
Yeah.
When you have a really.
It's like, I don't know how I
Yeah.
feel anymore.
But this song is kind of sarcastic. I don't know if I would even say it's a sad song. It's
Nah.
just kind of sarcastic. It's cool
Okay.
though. Yeah.
it's the same thing with teenagers. So with this group, my recollection in the 2000s, as fuzzy as it may be, was that this group very much appealed to the youth.
Oh yeah.
And for a band that does that, they reference a lot of very traditional rock and roll stylings.
Well,
Queen.
specifically,
Brian May from Queen. Yeah, I was one of the youths.
Yeah.
When these guys came out, I remember when they came out. I was in high school.
Yeah.
And
Perfect.
So hence youths.
Yeah.
And I remember at the time there wasn't a whole lot of bands who were playing a lot of guitar solos and doing a lot of progressive stuff on the radio. And I'm not putting that down. There's a lot of music I love that doesn't have a lot of guitar solos. It's not a bad thing. There wasn't a lot of that at the time, particularly on the radio. You had your Mars Voltas and those kinds of bands, but they were more underground.
You got to listen to college radio for that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I remember hearing them on the radio, and then it was the Black Parade, and then going, whoa, this guitar work is really cool.
Yeah.
It
kind of almost seems like it was bucking the trend then.
Yeah, exactly.
Post grunge and sort of like there's no need to step out into the spotlight. And here comes what's his name, Roy Toro. Here comes Roy, like, hey guys, I can do this thing, and you can totally hear the Brian May influence. He's said that in interviews, like that he grew up listening to Queen, and after Black Parade came out, people said, wow, your stuff reminds me of Queen. And he's like, that's the biggest compliment you could possibly give me, because he was a huge influence and that he could do anything.
And honestly, I've been trying to fit teenagers into a stream since we first introduced Chuck Berry.
I'm sorry, because I would have then just said,
no,
you want to hear
this,
teenagers.
Look, Dan, this isn't about me.
Well,
this
it's
is
no
never
longer about me. I can tell you that.
I'm only here. I'm like a tortilla chip.
Wow.
I'm only here to help provide a platform to deliver the goods, the guacamole or the cheese.
Hashtag Doug Tortilla Lily. Tortilla?
How many L's is that going to be?
All of them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So who's the guac and who's the sour cream?
Well, that's up to you.
Yeah.
We'll let. I would like to let the chat
take a poll. Poll on the chat.
If the chat room wants to decide what the Mexican restaurant of Rocksmith is, I'd be happy to see where we all wind up on the buffet.
But that's teenagers use that Chuck Berry a lot. That riff that you talked about.
Oh, the 5-6 neighbor movement.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't.
Yes.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. And that song just throughout.
Thank
And
you to
this
Jared
uses-
McAdams for letting me know that it's called the 5/6 Neighbor Movement, which is now my favorite progressive rock band.
Or just the jinka jinka jinka.
Well, that's what I was. I thought it'd be like me,
dun,
caveman, me go. What's that thing you do in boogie rock? And he's like, well, I guess technically it would be called a 5/6 Neighbor Movement, but that seems to be overstating it. And I'm like, no. Now I
call
sound
it a shuffle.
Yeah, it's just that shuffle boogie groove, all over George Thorogood, all over the songs of the late '50s, particularly.
Clearly,
and Teenagers plays with that structure.
Yeah.
But doesn't necessarily you didn't expect it necessarily from a band that looked
Right.
like that, or that their other songs sounded like that. But it's sort of like, no, we're building on some of the same influences than you might expect.
They definitely have studied.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna
music.
say it's pretty clear through that solo that he has some knowledge of jazz too.
Really?
Very clear. Yeah. Given some of the material in there, it's like, oh yeah, this guy knows his stuff when it comes to jazz. Particularly, there's that one part. It's like.
Well, yeah, that's like the little joke in there. It's almost like, this is basically thumbing your nose at death all the way through.
Yeah, it kind of is. I mean, but that's a really common harmony in jazz. That I guess you could call that would be part of a like a B7 sharp 5
Sure,
type of thing.
of course.
I'm looking to the Peanut Gallery for verification.
But he does play a major 7th, right? B7 sharp 5. No, okay.
We don't
Whatever.
know. We don't know. It's probably right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times that like you hear
major 7 sharp 5.
You read that's fine. You read the interviews with guitarists, and they say, well, how did you come up with that solo? And half the time, the person say, I just improvised it in the studio, or I did one take. Lenny Kravitz is a notorious one take, first take guy. The energy is there. It doesn't matter if it's sloppy. It matters that the energy is there. This is one where you can tell he sat down and said, no, I want to say something, and like it's very clearly a composed, constructed solo.
The second solo, yes. The first solo, it sounded like he was just like.
Yeah, just double stops, woo!
Yeah.
And
so that's why it was harder to play.
And how interesting if that is the case, where he decided the song is going to have two solos. One, I'm just going to have fun and kind of ad lib. The other one is going to be this thing that I've worked on and,
absolutely,
and workshopped.
Yeah, definitely,
It's
seems
interesting.
that way.
We were going to talk about
something
this coming
completely
Monday.
different.
So yeah, we're gonna move away. So every month, almost every month, on the last Monday of the month, we have an encore stream.
What's an encore stream?
What is an encore stream? It was your idea. You started.
Oh, well, no. An encore stream is a sort of a free form. We put together a different show that isn't based around the weekly DLC.
Yeah.
It could be something technical. It could be something theory. It could be a lesson that you sort of like get to watch while I try to learn things is generally what the format has become. And occasionally it's just dumb crap that we come up with, like stupid guitar tricks.
Yeah.
That was a fun one where I just asked everybody, I'm like, I'm sure you have some funny little thing that you do on the guitar. You make a sound effect or you have some riff that you always go back to. And so we just talked and explored those for an hour, and it was really funny. But one of the things, because I'm a big nerd and I grew up watching game shows, and I happen to have my own set of game show, like, buzzers.
Paraphernalia?
Yeah, I guess so. So I put together a Rocksmith version of a famous answer and question show.
Oh.
That we're allowed to say because Ubisoft has the license. I did a Rocksmith version of Jeopardy.
Oh, we can't say it. Okay, great.
Yeah, we can.
Great,
Yeah.
awesome.
We're doing that.
So you're gonna host that?
Yes.
So I have the week off?
Because you have to earn your keep now.
Oh, no.
As one of the contestants.
Okay.
So I'm not sure who all three of the contestants will be based on. Well, you can't because didn't you help do the beta a month ago?
No.
Oh, well then maybe Andrew could.
I would
maybe
love
Andrew could
to,
come
man.
on.
I'm
So
all
it
about
is.
that
Yeah,
life.
it is basically a full show of Jeopardy. We will also have. I'm happy to say. Some copies of our home game to give to the audience. We have some codes that we can share because the PR team was like, "Yeah, I actually do have a few codes left for the recent version that Ubisoft put out." So it'll be all music and guitar trivia, and I wrote it all specifically for this. And I will wear a snazzy jacket. Not as snazzy as the last jacket. It's a new jacket.
Okay,
I have
new
not
jacket.
worn.
Okay.
Are you going to be able to grow a mustache? By
No, but he doesn't either. He got rid of his mustache, remember, for a while.
Yeah.
So I can do whatever I want. Damn it.
Now would be a great time to show a card for that. Had I given it
Oh,
to the
any
Wheels
thought?
of Steel.
Yeah.
No, I mean I gave it
Oh.
thought, just not quite enough thought to.
Okay,
get it
well, picture if you
onto
will
this
the
folder.
Jeopardy font, but it says Rocksmith.
Yeah,
Picture,
yeah.
if you will, the Jeopardy.
And I've
font.
changed a couple other things too. It's not called the Daily Double, but if you'd like to know what it's called, you'll have to tune in on Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern to find out.
All right, cool. Well, thank you both very much for joining us, and we have one more song, we'll get to that. But
Yeah.
if you like what you've heard today in this 2000s Mix Pack 6. There might be some other songs in case you missed them. In case you missed it, Coldplay, we released a Coldplay song pack, and just to let everybody know, I did not have a chance to write my usual notes, so I'm freeloading this a little bit, and Andrew's going to pull this cord away. Okay, he's got it. We had a Coldplay song pack that came out, I think, over a year ago now, that had 6 songs. It had Clux, Viva La Vida, Yellow, The Scientist, Fix You, and In My Place. Also, as a single, as part of another pack, which I would normally have on my notes, but don't right now, was Paradise, which came out pretty recently. I think Paradise was maybe 3-4 months ago. If anybody knows, nobody knows. I know. And we also, this, as you may have guessed, since this is the 2000s Mix 6, we have had 5 other 2000s mixes thus far. And let's take a look at 2000s Mix 3, which included Band of Horses, The Funeral, Hinder's Lips of an Angel, and Kelly Clarkson's Breakaway. Those and all the other 2000 mixes are all available. Coming up, we've got one final track to play for you today. Oh, and we are still, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. We are still continuing with the Bohemian Rhapsody sweepstakes. That sweepstakes, hopefully you've entered and have been playing Queen to your heart's content. If you are unaware of the sweepstakes, if you don't know what I'm talking about right now, if you go to the website that is linked in chat, should be rocksmith.com/brsweeps, you can register for the Bohemian Rhapsody sweepstakes. And once you register, you just have to get into Rocksmith, make sure you're logged into your Uplay account, and then just play Queen songs. Play any Queen song in the game. There are 17 of them, one of which is on disc for Rocksmith Remastered / Rocksmith 2014. And if you, there will be one grand prize winner that will receive a copy of the Bohemian Rhapsody Blu-ray, DVD, and digital, along with a turntable from a C200 turntable from Crosley. And then there are, I think, 5, Chris Wu, Squirrely Ninja in chat can correct me if I'm wrong, 5 runner-up packages that will include everything shown there on the picture on the left, which is the gold backpack, a T-shirt, a Bohemian Rhapsody hat, and a copy of the Bohemian Rhapsody Blu-ray, DVD, and digital, all from Fox. So thank you for working with us and helping deliver more prizes to our viewers. Right now, we are going to wrap up today's stream. Brian Chu.
Hello.
Do you party hard?
Sometimes.
You seem hesitant.
When we have like our office happy hour.
Oh yeah, you do, don't you?
I do party pretty hard.
Francois Long, do you party hard?
When it's time to party, yes.
Okay, that's a perfect answer. When it's time to party, he always parties hard. So you probably figured it out by now.
What's partying soft like?
Partying. Let me think about that. I'll see if I can have an answer by the end of the song.
You let me know.
Andrew WK, first appearance on Rocksmith with Party Hard, an anthemic song from the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
It was everywhere, if I recall.
Yeah, he just kind of blew up all.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know too much, but as far as this album is concerned, it's like just a wall of guitar sound. Like the production is just humongous.
Yeah.
Like, every song is like, actually every song, it's kind of they're pretty similar. It's just very driving and just like gung 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 and
right. You can't find the top because everything is over it. Right. Did that land? I don't know if that landed. It's all over the top. It's very over the top.
Yeah, it's super.
You get it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And Francois, you really wanted to play on this one.
Yeah, because it was a little bit out of left field, I guess. But I actually saw Andrew WK live.
Yeah.
When that album came out.
So. Was it a good show?
It was an awesome show.
Good. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
And did you no track this one?
I did no track this one. So this one was interesting to research because they always have like 3 guitar players and they're always playing like different positions and stuff. Like
yeah,
sometimes
just to
they'll
get
play
that
the yeah, they'll all be playing in unison, but all in like different positions.
Right.
So it's kind of like it's kind of wonky to figure. So I just try to pick like the easiest for shifting and whatnot, and just like kind of just the most general way to play the song. Which I mean, it's a pretty simple tune, so it's not like there was anything too much to think about.
And you're playing the lead path. Is the rhythm path pretty similar?
Yeah, the rhythm path is very similar. The only difference, I believe, are some of the big shifting octave lead parts in this tune. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay.
I
All right.
don't
Well,
really know.
let's play it. This is Andrew WK's Party Hard as part of the 2000s Mix 6.
When it's time to party, we will party hard.
There's a lot of red on that bass part. Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's great. The one hard thing about this tune is just there's a lot of shifting.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like all over the neck.
So you got to know your neck.
Yeah. So like during the octave parts, I only played this song like once before doing this, and I kind of forgot how like how hard that octave shifting is, because he goes from all the way down from the 7th fret, like at a point all the way up here to the I guess that's the 19th fret.
18th, yeah, 19th.
18th and
Yeah.
19th. He just shifts all the way up there. And that's actually kind of hard. Like if you're trying to read and do that, it's like almost impossible. Like, so you'll notice I was just like looking at my fretboard, and even then I kind of messed up.
Well, I think you did very well.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
And I didn't think about what parting softly would be.
Okay, so what is it?
No, I
Or
didn't
you
think.
didn't?
No, I was,
Oh,
actually, I was having.
Well, maybe
I was
someone
having
in
fun.
the chat thought
I was.
about
Oh
it.
yeah. I think Matt Al had an answer, but I don't. It's gone now. And I didn't write it down.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Because I didn't have my notes. It was probably really good. So thanks, Matt Al.
Yeah.
For your contribution to to our chat. Yeah. Well, I think I we're good.
Yeah, it's not a very complicated tune.
Yeah, just a fun
Yeah.
party anthem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
All right.
Yeah, go watch them live. There's this great YouTube channel or a YouTube video of them performing this at I think it's Warped Tour or something, and they literally had like 30 audience members on stage with 7 or 8 guitar players, and then at one point there's just a bunch of people on the band member's shoulders, and so I was watching the bass player play, and he had this girl on his shoulders,
Yeah.
and he was just playing, and then at a point he kind of disappears off the camera, and then when the camera pans over 10 seconds later, he is also on top of somebody's shoulders, so it's this totem pole of 3 or 4 people. It's just kind of amazing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go watch
actually-
it. It's amazing. I just couldn't stop laughing and showing everybody in the office. It was so good.
I think I saw something similar when I saw him live.
Oh, yeah.
At the Engine Room in Houston, where he was opening for 2 other bands. Don't know whom I totally forgot. But at the end of his set, he basically invited the entire audience to come with him on stage. And then when he was done, half of the room left to just hang out with him for, I think we hung out with him for 3 hours and forgot about the other 2 bands. So that's how magnetic he is.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. He gets off stage.
Oh, yeah,
And just half the crowd just leaves with him.
I think there was one point where Andrew WK had a girl on his shoulders too, or just an audience member, and then after a while it pans away from him for a second, and then pans back, and then all of a sudden he's on top of her shoulders. It's it's just so crazy.
Right.
There's just so much crazy stuff going on. It's amazing.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you both very
Anyways,
much for coming.
yeah.
And we are going to do our final Ernie Ball prize pack of the stream. So if you want a chance to win one of these Ernie Ball prize packs, please listen to what UB Jurassic is saying in chat. Once more, that is Brian Turner. He is your community manager. I'm Doug Lilly. I'm your community developer for Rocksmith. He will tell you what to do if you want a chance to win these. The prize pack comes with 2 sets of strings, 1 6-string set, 1 4-string set, an Ernie Ball peg winder to put those strings on your instrument, a package of Ernie Ball Wonder Wipes, a black Ernie Ball strap, a pack of a dozen picks from Ernie Ball, and 3 of the brand new Rocksmith picks. I don't know if we have a name for these yet. The last ones were the Pink Skullboy picks. I don't have anything quite as catchy for these. We'll think of something. Maybe I'll see if the chat has ideas and suggestions. So, yeah, be nice, I guess. Be excellent to one another. So yeah, once more, if you win, please make sure you deliver unto Brian your name, your shipping address, and your telephone number. And good luck on that prize pack. Coming up tomorrow, we are going to have in the forums a clue posted by UB Jurassic. He'll probably tell you what time that'll be. I think East Coast, it's going to be 10 a.m. sharp. So if you want a chance to see what's coming up next week in Rocksmith, make sure you head to the forums. You can get to our forums by going to rocksmith.com, and there will be a link at the top that will take you directly to our forums. So yeah, head there tomorrow. We'll hang out and figure out amongst yourselves what is on the way next week. And while you're on the internet, why not stop by our Facebook pages? We are on Facebook, just Rocksmith. On Twitter and Instagram, we are at Rocksmith Game, just like we are in this Twitch chat. I want to thank you all for joining us today, and we will see you on the forums tomorrow morning. We will see you here on Twitch on Monday at 3 p.m. PST. And if neither of those, we'll see you next Thursday here at this time. Thank you very much, and we're going to take one more look at the 2000s Mix 6. Goodbye.